This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 11th day of August in the year 2025. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. Venezuela has filed its rejoinder in the 1899 arbitral award case, in which the government of Guyana has asked the International Court to uphold the validity of the award that sets the boundaries between Guyana and Venezuela. Guyana was notified of Venezuela's submission by the ICJ, with the court explaining that it was done within the time limit fixed by the court in its June 14, 2024 order. In a statement, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Guyana said Guyana welcomes the submission by Venezuela. The ministry said Guyana welcomes the filing of the rejoinder by Venezuela, which ensures that the court will have before it all the factual and legal arguments of both parties when it issues its final judgment, rendering it fully authoritative and incontestable. It explained that the rejoinder is in response to Guyana's reply, which was filed in December of last year and constitutes the final written pleading in the case. The Foreign Affairs Ministry said in accordance with its standard procedures, the court, upon returning from its summer recess, will schedule oral hearings on the merits of the case, to be followed by its deliberations and the issuance of its final judgment, which will be binding on the parties under international law. Throughout its arguments before the court, Guyana has maintained that the 1899 arbitral award is valid and ought to be respected by Venezuela. Guyana has repeatedly pointed out that Venezuela, for more than 60 years, accepted the award, and it was not until the eve of Guyana's independence in 1966 that the Spanish-speaking country rejected the award in its attempt to lay claim to two-thirds of Guyana's territory in the Essequibo region. However, Venezuela on two occasions sought to have the case dismissed by the International Court, filing two separate objections. Those objections, however, were rejected. Today, the Foreign Ministry said Guyana remains steadfastly committed to the peaceful resolution of the controversy in accordance with international law by the International Court of Justice, the world's highest and most respected judicial authority. More news coming up in just a moment.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, it's the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you're feeling. Ole cheesy, too much ripples and more combo pack of flavors galore, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, it's the best mix, so we feeling best.
Enjoy Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack. Best mix, best value.
Best mix, so we feeling best.
What's going on here, man? Why the two of y'all look so gloomy?
Uncle Joe, you know thief man been in the house and thief all we valuables, including the ID card. Now election come around and we want to go vote. We ain't get no ID card to identify ourselves. Now we can't go vote.
Well, you need to apply to GCOM to have your ID cards replaced. But you need not worry that you won't be able to vote because you don't have your ID cards. GCOM has put other measures in place to accurately identify voters like you who may not have the ID cards.
But how they gonna do that? How they gonna know is we name on the list if we don't have ID to prove it?
In addition to your ID card, voters can present their valid passports or valid driver's license if they have these.
Really?
But further, GCOM has placed your photograph alongside your name on a folio which will be at the polling station. And if you go to the polling station without a photo ID, you will be asked to state your name and address. The elections official will look at your face and then compare it with the photo alongside your name on the folio to confirm that they are the same. Then you'll have to answer some questions to verify your identity. If the election official is satisfied that you are the person who you claim to be, you will be allowed to vote after taking an oath of identity.
So you just vote?
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
With just over 2 weeks before Guyanese head to the polls on the 1st of September, General Secretary of the People's Progressive Party, Vice President Jagdeo, on Sunday accused his party's competitors in the upcoming elections of fueling racism and attempting to legitimize criminality. At a bad settlement rally on Sunday in Berbice, Mr. Jagdeo, who has been accused of racist rhetoric on the campaign trail in the past, said he now finds himself fighting against racism and criminality in the elections.
The PPP is fighting against two things in these elections. One, racism, and two, criminality.
Jagdeo said while there are 6 parties contesting the elections, the leaders of at least 4 of them all belonged under the same banner at the 2020 elections. He accused the other parties in the election race of running their campaigns unfair and not policies.
But the people of Guyana know that they're the same old APNU AFC, and they all preach the same thing: racism, division. They always talk about extrajudicial killing. They will never talk, if you listen to their campaign, they don't talk about how they will create jobs for you, or to take care of our children, or get better health care on education to our people, how they would support you to develop small businesses, how they would take care of your community and keep you safer. All they talk about is racism and division.
And noting that Afro-Guyanese have been chastised and ridiculed for joining his party, Mr. Jagdeo called on Guyanese to reject racism. He said on the other hand, a new kid on the election bloc, the We Invest in Nationhood Party, which is led by sanctioned businessman Azruddin Mohammed, is driven by self-interest. Mohammed and his companies were major supporters of the PPP in the past.
That's a party that is trying to protect one man from criminality. So we are fighting two things now: racism and criminality.
Jagdeo has urged Guyanese not to put the country at risk by voting for Mohammed's party. The Win Party has accused the PPP of victimization and being targeted during the current election campaign. Still on the campaign trail, presidential candidate for a Partnership for National Unity, Aubrey Norton, returned to his hometown of Linden on Sunday, where he promised party supporters that a government led by him will make significant investments in Linden to aid development and improve the quality of life of Lindeners. The bauxite mining town has been a stronghold of the PNC-led APNU. Mr. Norton said Linden is one of the towns where development has been minimal or transactional under the governing PPP. He said an APNU government would change that.
Let me make it clear. We ain't going to be into the puku development. They build a road in Amelia's ward, and all it is do is sink. Every time you come up, it gone down a little more. We promise you that we will deliver quality roads. The men build roads that are so narrow, 2 vehicles can't pass. Why in a country that is considered the fastest country in the world, there is a level of poverty that exists in Guyana? We said to you, our aim is to eradicate poverty.
The APNU presidential candidate said he wants to see the people of Linden enjoy a good quality of life, and that task is high on his party's agenda.
We want to see quality development in this country. We want to see the people of Region 10 benefit. May I remind you that we left millions, and this government refused to disperse it in the last 5 years. When they come to tell you nonsense, ask them if they like Linden so much, why they did not put a board at Lens so that the money could be distributed. But they don't want that.
Among other things, Mr. Norton said the APNU will provide both rent and mortgage assistance for Lindeners, implement a school transformation program across the country, and boost agriculture in Linden.
We will ensure that there is sustainable agriculture in Region 10. If people have to feed you from afar, you will be dependent on them. But once we create the conditions and provide the lands, you can feed yourself and be independent. And that is what is necessary.
He warned Lindeners to be wary of the governing PPP and its promises. According to Norton, Linden will form a central part in the plans and programs of an APNU-led government. Declaring that his party has a well-oiled election machinery in Linden, the mayor of Linden, Sharma Solomon, is encouraging his fellow citizens to hold steady and vote the PPP out of office. Addressing APNU party supporters at a rally on Sunday, Mayor Solomon said he is unfazed by endorsements of the PPP from some high-profile Lindeners. He accused the governing party of failing to address several issues in the mining town.
Let us not forget Linden. 2011, we gave them a minority government. Let us not forget Linden. 2015, we removed them from government. And let us not forget Linden. 2025, we will kick them out of government once again.
Solomon said 5 years ago the country embarked on an economic revolution with the receipt of unprecedented wealth and expanded development. However, he said despite that, Linden cannot see the transformational development in the community.
Say to you, as we are on the verge of a new liberation, Linden, we must give our support to our leader and ensure that we overcome the challenges and take victory come the 1st of September.
According to Solomon, Linden is the heart of Guyana and has nothing to show for it. He said as a region of ordinary people, they believe that only the APNU truly understands their struggle and can deliver for them.
So how do we ensure, Linden, that you are placed front and center? How do we ensure, Linden, that you are the heart of Guyana and you get what you rightfully deserve? That could only be done, Linden, by a people-centered approach. Is by putting you and every single Linden and Guyanese at the front of development.
Solomon hailed the APNU's still-to-be-released manifesto as one that will work for the people, and he told Lindeners to reject fly-by-night parties and those only who are seeking their votes for having their votes' sake.
Dreaming of studying in the United States? Education USA is here to help you find your perfect fit. With nearly 4,000 higher education institutions in the US, there is something for everyone. At Education USA, the goal is to provide you with accurate, unbiased, and comprehensive information about higher educational opportunities in the United States. Our Education USA advisor is ready to guide you towards your academic journey. Join the growing community of Guyanese students achieving their dreams with Education USA. We welcome students from all backgrounds and cultures. Start your journey today.
You never vote neither. So you don't know if anybody gonna know which party you vote for.
Not because I never vote. I know that when I vote, nobody can see which party I'm voting for.
Why should I believe you? You,
me help you with something, young man. The young lady is correct. The freedom to vote for a political party of your own choice on election day is yours. Nobody will know which political party you voted for. Once you would have marked your ballot paper and folded it as directed, nobody will see which political party you would have voted for after you would have placed your ballot paper in the ballot box. You're guaranteed that your vote will remain a secret.
Oh, thanks, big man. For sure, I'm going to vote on election day. Now to feel confident that nobody will know which party I'm going to vote for.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
Washi. Hi people. Washing made so easy since I found Washi. Washing me use wash me clothes and I can say Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder leave me clothes smelling nice, of course. So give thanks to Washi soap powder for doing my laundry right. Keep my clothes color bright. Have my clothes smelling nice for sure. I could not ask for more. Comes in lemon and original. It is a washing machine in a pack. Washi soap powder wash clothes so nice. Washi soap powder leave your clothes color bright. Washi soap powder have my clothes smelling nice, of course.
Distributors located in the Stabrook Market.
When you are identified at the polling station as the voter you claim to be, you will be given a ballot paper for you to vote. The election official who gives you the ballot paper must stamp it in your presence at the back of the top section and bottom section with the official 6-digit number of the polling station. If you are given an unstamped ballot paper to vote, it is your right to insist that it must be stamped correctly before you accept it to cast your vote. If you vote on a ballot paper that is not stamped with a 6-digit number, your vote will not be counted because a ballot paper that is not stamped is not valid. It is your constitutional right and civic duty to vote at the upcoming general and regional elections providing you are listed in the official list of electors. Vote early on election day. For further information, contact GCOM on 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650 or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Outlining his party's plan for the rich gold mining town of Bartica and the rest of Region 7, President Irfan Ali on Saturday said his party, the People's Progressive Party, remains the only true party to represent all the people of Guyana. At a rally in the town of Bartica, the president championed his government's lowering of some taxes and provision of incentives for miners as part of its commitment to the business community and the mining communities. He said a re-elected PP civic government will do a whole lot more for the region. President Ali told party supporters that the PPP is being embraced by the business community because of its track record on development and security of investment.
But they are not embracing us blindly. They have seen the development. They have made their investment. And they know which government and which party will secure their investment. Which government and which party will protect their investment. Which government and which party will create the opportunity for more investment, more jobs, higher paying jobs, lower taxes, more infrastructure, and a better Guyana. And that is the People's Progressive Party.
Region 7 has been predominantly supportive of the People's National Congress and the PNC-led APNU over the years. However, at the last local government elections in the main town of Bartica, the PP Civic picked up more votes and control of the Bartica Town Council. The PPP is hoping that its improved showing at the Bartica local elections could be reflected in this year's regional and general elections. President Ali told the rally that his government has been investing more in Region 7 with improved health facilities and connectivity to other communities.
The next 5 years is not only about the jobs, mining, forestry, the roads, the infrastructure, treated water, better quality and more reliable electricity at lower prices for gas, but it's about the future for the young people. We have already made university education free, but we are going to create in Region 7, like every other region, an education hub with all of the facilities like we will do in Region 6 and other region, in Region 9, with a new hospital to support our young people becoming pharmacists, doctors, trained teachers, engineers, technologists, computer science graduates, education graduates, nurses, all whilst they live in Region 7, because we will bring the facilities to you.
The president also said his government's plan over the next 5 years would include the expansion of government services to all of the regions as it pushes greater transformation and technological advancements. He highlighted the importation of food into Region 7 and explained that he wants to see the development of a food ecosystem and agriculture ecosystem in the region, which he said would meet the food demands of Region 7 and the wider mining community. He has also promised that the PP civic government under his watch would also invest more in the riverine communities across the region and work more with the community leaders for them to be part of his government's action plan. Still in the world of politics, the Alliance for Change is proposing to reform the national insurance scheme through the introduction of a new national pension fund. It is also seeking to establish a universal social protection framework in an effort to strengthen social security. In a policy document released today, the AFC said Guyanese workers have a right to retire with dignity and live without fear of destitution during illness, job loss, or disability. However, it said the reality is the majority of Guyanese workers, particularly those in the private and informal sectors, have no access to pensions, health insurance, unemployment coverage, or basic welfare protection. The AFC said it recognizes that the absence of a modern, inclusive, and responsive social protection system continues to marginalize working-class Guyanese, entrenching inequality and insecurity. The party is proposing a comprehensive strategy to reform the national insurance scheme, to introduce a new national pension fund, and establish a universal social protection framework, one that covers workers from all sectors and provides safety nets in times of retirement, unemployment, maternity, disability, illness, caregiving, and bereavement. It explained that the National Pension Fund will cater for both public and private sector workers. Its features include a 10% contribution, 5% from the employee and the other 5% from the employer, portable pension accounts across employers and sectors, safe investments, and disbursements at 60 years old or earlier on the disability, death, or certified early retirement. The AFC explained too that its plans to reform and revitalize the NIS would see the insurance scheme being audited, digitally transformed, and integrated with a new national pension fund. The intention, it said, is to ensure financial sustainability within 3 years, increase efficiency and transparency, and reduce leakages and overheads with better oversight. The party is also guaranteeing a universal minimum pension of $100,000 for all citizens aged 65 and over. In defending the policy, the Alliance for Change said the pension and social protection policy will ensure fairness, security, dignity, especially to those who have long been excluded from economic safety nets. Well, the president of the Small Miners Association of Guyana, David Daniels, is encouraging his fellow miners and residents of Region 7 to support the re-election of the PPP civic government. At a rally on Saturday in Bartica, Mr. Daniels said transformation has been taking place across the mining communities, and he believes that transformation should be allowed to continue. He said Region 7, which has been supportive of the PNC and the APNU in the past, should change course.
I have seen transformation, I have seen development, and I've seen great leadership and management under the People Progressive Party Civic. Friends, I am saying this to say, during 2015 to 2020, I have witnessed taxes and burden being placed on the mining industry. I have witnessed VAT placed on tributors taxes, VAT on machineries, VAT on fuel, and under the People Progressive Party Civic, I have seen President Mohamed and Farmali and the PPPC government has removed those burden off of those equipment so that miners will be able to have more in their pockets.
The Small Miners Association president was among several persons who addressed the sea of supporters at the PP Civic rally. He said he is optimistic that the People's Progressive Party civic government, under the leadership of President Farmali, would place the issues confronting small miners on the front burner. He said miners are now able to work more freely under the current administration. Meanwhile, the Tushao of the indigenous Cayuni village of Batavia, Murphy Gomez, said his village has also been seeing growth and development.
I want to say for the past 4.5 years, Batavia has developed tremendously in all areas: education, housing, transportation, and most of all, electricity. For the first time. So today, people of Region 7, I say to you, let progress continue.
Meanwhile, Gifford Marshall, who rose to prominence under the APNU AFC administration when he was elected as the first mayor of Bartica, brought a message of love and unity. Warning that a divided nation would only fall, Marshall said Guyanese must work together for the betterment of the country and put aside racism and divisiveness.
Residents of Bartica, for too long we have struggled with racism. We have struggled with division. We have struggled with divisiveness. And it is time that we put our shoulders to the wheel and show the world that Guyana is not cursed, but it is blessed. Show the world that we can work together. Show the world that we are one people, one nation, one destiny.
After serving for 2 consecutive terms as mayor of Bartica under the APNU AFC banner, Marshall not long after said his time in politics had come to an end. However, he recently signaled his return to politics with the endorsement of the president. On the police blotter, a 25-year-old security guard attached to the KGM security service has been arrested over the shooting death of a 34-year-old Cuban national in the Real Value supermarket on Sunday morning here in Georgetown. The dead Cuban national has been identified as Pedro Alexander Fromita Shulnak. The incident took place at around 9:47 on Sunday morning. A police report of the incident stated that a security guard who was on duty at the supermarket told investigators that he approached a Cuban national in the supermarket after noticing him repeatedly entering and leaving the business place. The security guard told the investigators that when he attempted to question the Cuban national, the man held on to him and a scuffle between them broke out as the man was armed with a knife. According to the police, the security guard reported that he was able to disarm the man and stabbed him with the same knife to his right shoulder and the head. He claimed that after stabbing the man, he drew his firearm and discharged 6 rounds in his direction, hitting the man 4 times to the body. The 34-year-old man collapsed and died at the scene. The police and emergency services were summoned, as well as supervisors attached to the KGM security company. There are reports that the police have been able to access surveillance video recordings from inside the supermarket that might have captured the incident. The guard, who is from the Sophia community, was arrested and remains in custody as the investigations are ongoing tonight.
Join us for the International Building Expo 2025 at the Guyana National Stadium, Providence. From August 14th through the 17th, you can explore the latest in building and construction, get tips from the experts, and network with top professionals. But it's also a weekend of clean family entertainment. We have live bands and local artists performing each night. Admission is easy on the wallet. Kids under 12 are free and adults are only $500. The grand opening happens Thursday, August 14th at 5 p.m. Gates are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., Friday through Sunday. Bring the entire family to the International Building Expo 2025 and build some memories together.
Turbo with a new look, new style, with the same great taste in the 250 ml can. Everybody run out now. Go and go grab one. Me charge up with a turbo 250 ml at your favorite spot. Wait, sell. New look, new can, same vibes. Jinxing, energize up your life. Vibes up, work time, anytime we are turn up the party with turbo can. Turbo can, turbo can, turbo can. Now available in the new 250 ml can. Turbo energy drink. Charge up today.
Hi, Miss Shirley. Miss Shirley, help me out now, please. Why everyone telling me I must exercise my right to vote? Mean that time for that? Why must I vote?
Why must you vote? That is your constitutional right and civic duty, my child. Besides, think about this. Government officials make decisions that affect the well-being of you, your family, and community. By voting for a party of your choice, you will be electing the people who will be making these very important decisions. If you don't vote, then you will allow the people who vote to choose government officials without your input. Those others may not share your views about issues that matter to you.
Wait. Is so much voting means to me? And I playing the fool? I definitely gonna vote on election day.
For more information, contact the GCOM on 225-02779 or visit www.gcom.org.gy.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyana is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyana's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
With your regional and international news tonight, I am Svetlana Marshall in the region. Jamaicans will head to the polls on September 3 to decide who will lead the country for the next 5 years, according to Jamaica Gleaner. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness made a long-anticipated announcement at a mass rally in Halfway Tree on Sunday evening, calling on voters to choose Jamaica and grant the Jamaica Labour Party, JLP, an unprecedented third consecutive term in office. Nomination day has been set for August 18. Public opinion polls suggest the race to control Jamaica House will be a tight one. By-elections in 4 local government divisions in the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation will also be held on September 3, Holness announced. The JLP, which currently controls 49 of the 63 seats in Parliament, is campaigning on a platform of continued economic growth, expanded infrastructure, and stronger crime management. Colombian Senator Miguel Uribe, who had been hospitalized since he was shot in the head in June during a campaign event, has died, his family said on Monday. He was 39. Reuters, in a report, said Uribe, a potential presidential candidate from the right-wing opposition, was shot in Bogota on June 7 during a rally and underwent multiple surgeries before his death. The death of Uribe adds further tragedy to his family's fraught history. His mother, journalist Diane Turbay, was killed in 1991 during a rescue mission after she was kidnapped by a cartel headed by drug lord Pablo Escobar. Uribe himself has enjoyed a rapid political rise, becoming a recognized lawmaker for the right-wing Democratic Center Party and presidential hopeful known for his sharp criticism of President Gustavo Petro's administration. At 25, he was elected to the City Council, where he was a prominent opponent of Petro, then the capital's mayor, criticizing his handling of waste management and social programs. In the 2022 legislative elections, Uribe led the Senate slate for the Democratic Center Party with the slogan Colombia First, winning a seat in the chamber. And finally tonight, international news. The death of a 1-month-old baby girl who was the victim of female genital mutilation, FGM, in the Gambia has sparked widespread outrage, according to the BBC. The baby was rushed to a hospital in the capital after she developed severe bleeding, but was pronounced dead on arrival, police said. Although an autopsy is still being conducted to establish the cause of death, many people have linked it to FGM, or female circumcision, a cultural practice outlawed in the West African state. Culture is no excuse. Tradition is no shield. This is violence, pure and simple, a leading non-governmental organization, Women in Leadership and Liberation Will, said in a statement. 2 women had been arrested for their alleged involvement in the baby's death, police said. The MP for the Combo North District, where the incident happened, emphasized the need to protect children from harmful practices that rob them of their health, dignity, and life. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall, wishing you a pleasant evening.